When you start combat, you want your players to feel that rush and that uncertainty of combat, where things escalate quickly and everyone has to do their part to ensure that the party doesn't TPK. Yet what we have now is you as DM asking them for initiative, and then while you're figuring out the scores for all of your monsters, the table dissolves into chaos. While everyone asks if they can have actions before the round starts, if they can have stuff prepared, if they can be holding their weapons, and all that nonsense. While during combat, it's the total opposite, with one of them speaking at a time as everyone awaits the 15 minutes it takes for them to get their turn, scrolling through Instagram, having forgotten to plan it, so everyone has to wait even longer to be able to do something. That can't be right. D&D is supposed to be a nice and relaxing time where you get to hang out with friends or at least make friends during an epic adventure, not 4 hours of bored people going through funny videos on TikTok wondering why they're even there in the first place. And I'm here with a potential solution to help solve that issue, or to at least give you some more things to think about before you ask your players to simply roll for initiative, because I believe that's where the fault lies. Everything outside of combat is a fluid interaction between all the players and the DM, where you improvise, roleplay, and overcome challenges. So, why should combat be any different? The big issue is that the structure, and by that I mean the rounds and turns in which combat takes place, are necessary to keep everyone's abilities in line and to make combat easier to understand. Rules wise, it's easier to let a character attack twice every turn than to base their number of attacks on other measures. And as an added difficulty, any solution that I'm going to give you has to be able to work together with the 5th edition rules so that you can drop it into your existing games. Or if you're a player watching this, suggest it to your DM. So, TLDR of the story, we can't get rid of the rounds and turn system that's in place at the moment, so we'll have to work with it. I think I've rambled on long enough. Let's get to the meat of this episode. The initiative system that I've come up with works with cards. Everyone probably has a deck of cards lying at home around, so that shouldn't be a problem. You get one card of diamonds for each player joining in the fight. I suggest always having all of your players in fight so that everyone can enjoy sessions to the fullest and not feel left out. So, hopefully, if you're doing it right, one card for each player at your table. It doesn't matter which number or picture is on the card, it just needs to be visible that it's a card of diamonds. Then get one card of spades for each monster that's currently engaged with them in combat or is gonna be engaged with them this turn, and shuffle those in with the diamonds. Now you have your basic encounter deck. You shuffle your cards and draw them one by one. If it's a diamond card, put it in the middle of the table. The players can then decide who wants to take their turn. Of course, they can't take their turn if they've already taken a turn this round. Same goes for the monsters. If there's a spade card, the DM gets to activate a monster and let it do its turn. Afterwards, you collect the cards again. If monsters or players died, get those cards out of the pile and reshuffle it so you're ready for the next round. I'll do a short example at the end of the video for those who don't immediately grasp the concept. So, with this system, the goal is to get your players to talk to each other during combat and to think together creatively and have them plan out the battle. You don't need to be scared that it's going to take long, because if everyone is happily discussing their next moves, they're enjoying themselves, as they should. The other part of it is that this keeps the tension high, because nobody knows what the next card is going to be. Will the players get a turn to have one of them heal a fallen comrade? Or will the temple guards try to cut them in half first? This gives players less fear of metagaming, since the turn order is not known. Another big problem currently in 5e that's stopping players from discussing their turns and tactics with each other. The system can even be expanded upon, with lair actions as club cards mix in there instead of always happening at initiative score 20 as is happening now in 5e. You can add other parties in the mix as well with other types of cards and so on. I'm sure you guys can come up with your own creative additions to the system. You could even make beautiful cards with the party's logo or the villain symbol on it. I'd say go ham with it. Of course, as any system, it does have some downsides to it. The main one being that it's a bit hard if you can't really put everyone in the combat into neat groups, though usually in roleplay games, that's the case. Another one is that combat may take a bit longer. Yes, I know, even longer. But at least, like in 5e, it's not at the cost of your player's enjoyment of the game. Ooh, shots fired. And now the promised example. We'll work with 2 players and 3 monsters here. So you as DM take 2 diamond cards for your 2 players, 3 spades cards for your 3 monsters, and shuffle them into a pile. You then pull out a diamond card and place it in front of your players. They discuss for a bit and decide that the cleric will do their turn now. After the cleric has done their turn, you pull out another card and it shows up as a spade. Then you have one of your monsters do their turn. You as DM get to choose which monster you want for this turn. You keep just pulling cards like this until all the cards are exhausted, and that's the turn, really. You keep doing this, shuffling them again till the combat's over. So that was kind of my take on initiative and combat. If you'd like to see how you can improve your combat even further by changing the way weapons work, because they suck a little right now, I've got another video for you here. Or if you'd be so kind to subscribe and hear more ideas about 5e and RPGs in general and how you can improve upon them, that'd make me really happy. With that taken care of, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.